In a quiet old town lived a poor but honest tailor named Hassan. His shop was small, his clothes simple, but his heart was rich with gratitude. Every morning, as the sun's first rays touched his humble workshop, he would whisper a small prayer. Ya Allah, whatever you give me today, I accept with a smile. His days were filled with the gentle rhythm of needle and thread, and even when business was slow, his faith never wavered. One evening, after a long, tiring day, Hassan closed his shop and carefully counted his earnings. It was hardly enough for food, a familiar struggle. As he walked home through the cobblestone streets, he held a single gold coin tightly in his hand, the only savings he had, a tiny buffer against an uncertain tomorrow. But halfway through the street, his world tilted. A fast-running boy, lost in his own youthful energy, bumped hard into him. The gold coin slipped from Hassan's fingers. It bounced, rolled across the stones, and with a faint clink, disappeared down a dark, narrow drain. Hassan froze. His heart sank into a deep, cold pit. That single coin wasn't just money. It was his security, his peace of mind. He immediately dropped to his knees, his fingers desperately searching the cold, dark opening of the drain, but his arm was too short. He tried to move the heavy stones covering it, but they wouldn't budge. People passing by saw his struggle. Some shook their heads with pity. "Forget it, Hassan," one called out. Another added, "You're just unlucky today." A third sighed, "Maybe it just wasn't meant for you." For a moment, the weight of their words and his loss felt overwhelming. Tears welled up in his eyes, blurring the dim light of the street lamps. He sat beside the drain, a profound sense of helplessness washing over him. Then, he took a deep breath, looked up at the night sky, and whispered, his voice trembling slightly, "Ya Allah, I don't understand why this happened, but I trust you." And with that, he stood up and walked home, his hands in his pockets completely empty. The next morning, Hassan woke up before dawn. He prayed Fajr, his heart still heavy but his resolve renewed. Instead of heading to his shop, he returned to the drain. This time, he came prepared, carrying a small metal hook tied to a length of rope. A nearby shopkeeper, opening his store for the day, saw Hassan and let out a cynical laugh. "Still trying? Hassan, you're wasting your time. That coin is long gone." But Hassan simply smiled gently. His eyes filled with a quiet determination. He replied, "Effort never goes to waste. Allah sees our struggle." He carefully lowered the hook into the dark drain, moving it slowly, gently, patiently. He felt nothing but mud and debris. Minutes stretched into an hour. The morning crowd grew, and passers-by glanced at him with a mix of pity and amusement. Some openly mocked him, telling him to give up and accept his fate. Yet, with each failed attempt, Hassan's focus only deepened. He whispered again and again, like a mantra, "Allah loves effort. Allah loves those who are patient." Suddenly, the hook caught on something. It felt heavy. Hope surged through him. Hassan pulled with all his might, his muscles straining. Out from the grimy depths came not a single coin, but a small, heavy leather pouch, soaked in water and caked with mud. A crowd quickly gathered around as he carefully untied the wet leather string and opened it. Everyone gasped. Inside, glittering in the morning sun, were 5 gold coins, far more than he had ever possessed in his entire life. The shopkeeper who had mocked him stared in disbelief. Where did this come from?" he stammered. Just then, an old man with a kind face stepped forward from the crowd. His eyes lit up with recognition. That pouch belonged to me. I lost it right here weeks ago." Hassan's heart tightened. This wasn't his. Without a second thought, he held out the pouch to the old man. But the old man shook his head and smiled warmly. He placed a hand on Hassan's shoulder and said, "No, my son. Today you tried to recover something small, and Allah rewarded you with something far greater. These coins are yours. They are a reward for your unwavering effort and trust, because no one else would have worked as hard as you did." Tears of pure gratitude rolled down Hassan's face. He looked down at the coins, then raised his hands to the sky. "Ya Allah," he said, his voice full of emotion, "you test us with loss, and you lift us with blessings we could never imagine." The moral of this story is a beautiful reminder for all of us. What you think you have lost for the sake of Allah is never truly lost. Your effort, your patience, and your unshakable trust in His plan create doors you never even knew existed. When Allah replaces something in your life, He always replaces it with something better. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to Royal Reads for your daily dose of motivation.